Imagine surviving a metal rod blasting through your skull and waking up alive. But there's a catch. The person you were, the one everyone knew, is gone forever. This is not a story from fiction. This is the real case of Phineas Gage, the man whose brain accident rewrote his personality and changed science forever. Phineas Gage was born in 1823 in New Hampshire, USA. He was a hard-working, responsible railroad construction foreman, calm, polite, reliable. His friends described him as a level-headed man, intelligent, trusted by everyone around him. But on September 13, 1848, everything changed in an instant. A routine job went wrong. Gage was using a tamping iron, a 3.5-foot metal rod to pack blasting powder into rock. One small spark and an explosion shot the iron straight through his skull, entering under his left cheek and exiting the top of his head. His co-workers thought he would die instantly, but he didn't. Miraculously, Gage was conscious almost immediately. He could speak, walk, and even recount what had happened. Doctors were stunned. How could anyone survive such an injury? Today, we know the rod passed through his left frontal lobe, the area of the brain responsible for decision-making, personality, and impulse control. But survival was only the beginning. What happened next was even more astonishing. Before the accident, Gage was calm, polite, and socially responsible. Afterwards, he became impulsive, irreverent, and unreliable. Friends reported that he was fitful, irreverent, indulging in profanity, impatient of restraint or advice. His social behavior changed dramatically, though physically he seemed fine. Gage could work, but he could no longer manage his previous foreman duties. His life trajectory had changed forever, all because of damage to a small part of the brain. This case became the first documented evidence linking the frontal lobe to personality and social behavior, a cornerstone of modern neuroscience and psychology. Let's break down why this happened. The frontal lobe controls executive functions, planning, decision-making, impulse control, and social judgment. When Gage's left frontal lobe was damaged, impulse control diminished, decision-making became erratic, emotional regulation faltered. In other words, the machinery of his personality had been rewired. Neuroscientists today confirm this with digital reconstructions of Gage's skull, showing precisely where the rod passed through his brain. Functional studies of the frontal cortex repeatedly show similar effects in patients with comparable injuries. This is not theory, this is fact, documented in peer-reviewed studies and historical accounts. Phineas Gage's story is not just a curiosity, it transformed neuroscience. For the first time, scientists had concrete evidence that specific areas of the brain control personality, social behavior, and decision-making. Today, brain injury cases are analyzed in the context of Gage's accident, a case that continues to teach us how fragile and miraculous the human brain is. It also challenges a deeper question: how much of you is truly you? If one small injury could rewrite personality, what defines identity? What does it mean to be human? Phineas Gage survived against all odds. He lived another 12 years after the accident, working various jobs and traveling, but he was never the same man again. His skull, preserved in Harvard's Warren Anatomical Museum, remains one of the most important artifacts in neuroscience history. The story of Phineas Gage is a testament to the resilience and fragility of the human brain. One metal rod, one explosion, one moment, and the course of a life and the course of science changed forever. So next time you think you are fully in control of your mind, remember, your brain is delicate, astonishing, and sometimes unpredictable. And maybe who you are today is just the result of the incredible wiring inside your head.